Now, taping for SWAT Magazine TV is always fun, but this particular day was probably one of the best of the entire series. David Burns and I got the run of the entire ALERRT Training Facility, and we had two very precise rifles to play with. We turned it into a sniper's playground. Most people don't think of shoot houses when they think of sniper training, but the reality is if you want to be able to apply your practical precision rifle skills on demand, whether as a sniper or even as a hunter, you need to have practiced and pushed your limits beforehand. Today, Sergeant David Burns and I are going to take advantage of the 37-acre ALERRT facility to test ourselves, our prior training, and our gear into buildings, out of buildings, from vehicles, through glass, even on top of a tower. Stay tuned for a great SWAT Magazine TV. I'm at the rappel station on top of one of the training buildings here at the Advanced Law Enforcement Rapid Response Training Center in Hays County outside of San Marcos, Texas. And I've got David Burns with me. David Burns is a sniper. He's a member of the Hays County SWAT team, and he's going to help me work through what actually is one of the greatest days I could possibly spend on the range. How many acres do we have out here, David?
37 acres.
37 acres of just us, just these two rifles, and targets all over the place. David, talk to me about the importance of training precision rifle off of the known distance range.
Well, that's a great place to start anytime that you're learning a new skill set. But what ends up happening is that doesn't always match up to reality. And so reality is you may be eating lunch, and 5 seconds later you're on a call and having to make a shot to save someone's life. And when that happens, you're probably not in a prone position or got a bench rest to do that.
Now, obviously, we've both done a lot of training. He's serving as an active sniper right now in a law enforcement capacity. I've been through a bunch of the training, conducted the courses myself, but we've got some shots set up here today on basically a 37-acre sniper playground. We're going to use this tower. We're going to be in and out of vehicles. We're going to be in a lot of improvised positions. We've got interactive and reactive targets. We've got facades and shoot houses and all kinds of things to use. And really, we're going to be testing the application of skill. David's going to be coaching me through some of the harder shots. This is going to be a great episode of SWAT Magazine TV. Appreciate you being here, David.
You bet. Looking forward to it.
Being an armed citizen means having a gun with you all the time. Carrying a firearm every day requires a holster that is both concealable and comfortable. Whether you choose our Super Tuck Deluxe or Mini Tuck, you'll have the confidence that comes from being discreetly and comfortably armed, prepared to face unforeseen dangers. Crossbreed holsters are handmade in the USA, come with a lifetime warranty and a 2-week try-it-free guarantee. Order your holster today at crossbreedholsters.com.
All right, so our first shooting position is about 100 yards away from our targets, and we're going to be shooting at the torso or head of this terrorist target that's actually a pop-up down in the window in the breaching facade. We're on the first landing of the tower, and we're actually in a situation where we don't want to stick our guns out of the window. Of course, anybody could stand up and rest the gun out here on the windowsill and be able to get a pretty stable base and make a 100-yard shot. What David's going to demonstrate is a way of bracing his left arm, his offhand, on the railing so that we can get away from the stairs, get the angle we need. He's actually going to rest the rifle across his left arm. We're going to take the shot from this position. David's going to go first, and then I'll jump in and try it myself.
Ready to go?
We're hot. It's a hit. Awesome. You want to reset that target? I'll jump in and try the same shot.
You bet.
Again, what makes this interesting is the idea that we're not just testing the gear out to make sure we're zeroed. We're not just testing our own trigger control. Now we're actually looking at the applied precision rifle skill. So this is a situation that someone may find themselves in. If they have to take an opportunity to take a shot on the way up the stairwell, maybe we anticipated getting up to the roof and actually setting up in a more stable position. Command gets us on the radio, we have to take the shot from here. This is the kind of situation we may have to throw together just to save a life. I'm going to get into the same position, make hot. Good hit. Now we're going to try something a little different. I'm going to reset the target for David. He's going to stand by right here on this window. We're no longer going to worry about protruding from beyond, but obviously this is going to be a left-handed shot. Personally, I've never taken an offhanded shot from anywhere but the mat. I don't know about you, David?
Never have.
Well, let's see what happens. Good hit. You'll bring that target back up for me. Good hit. That was definitely interesting. Getting into these awkward positions, getting into unorthodox shooting positions, being able to use the skills that we've developed on the mat, on the range, standing, kneeling, squatting, sitting, whatever it may have been, really a great test of skill. This is exactly the kind of thing that you should be doing if you want to be able to use your precision marksmanship skills, whether it's on a SWAT team, part of the military, or of course, even in a hunting situation. Maybe that trophy buck requires you to shoot left-handed. Let's head up the tower and see what else we can get into.
All right.
All right, again, this is a situation where we might be able to go prone. We're gonna try it from a sit. And what we're gonna do specifically here is we're gonna be observing that window, sitting in this position. Assume we've got a green light. Again, maybe you're sitting in a tree stand, you're sitting in a blind, and you know the deer come up the ridge, you've gotten a glimpse. Now he's gonna come into the area where you're gonna take him. You've planned your shot. Same thing, in a sniper situation, I'm sitting here, I'm watching the window. If that guy shows himself, he's still got a weapon in his hand, I'm gonna take the shot. David's gonna run the machine, and when that target pops up, I'm gonna take the shot as quickly as I can. Of course, take the follow-up shot if I need to. And again, I'm not protruding beyond the window. I'm set back into the building. In position. Target down. Give it a try, David.
Give it a try. In position.
And one of the important things about precision rifle training is training with reactive targets. If all you do is shoot groups or shoot paper, you're really left with nothing but to shoot and then assess. The reality is, if you had to take a shot, you want to make sure that if that shot doesn't do what you need it to do, drop the bad guy, you immediately take your follow-up shot. That means run the bolt, or on this one, simply settle the scope and take the shot again. So this time, we have a moving target down there that's a great reactive target. This is an important part of the training. I know you guys at the ALERRT facility have come up with a great way to do it, David. Talk about that target swinging around in that door.
Well, Rob, you're exactly right. Having a reactive target is extremely important, and a lot of times they cost a lot of money in order to have these. So what we've done is kind of come up, improvise, adapt, overcome. Everybody's got a beauty college somewhere within their town when they do their haircuts, things of that nature. When those little foam heads are when they're done with them, they throw them in the trash. So what we do is we've got a connection where we get them. We'll bore out just the medulla, fill it with a water balloon, put it in there, hang it from door frame like we have this one out here, and try to make the shot.
Excellent. Well, I'll tell you what, that's a moving target. It's a little bit windy today. Why don't you go ahead and take advantage of the prone and let you get into position. Again, this is all about pushing our limits today. It's about getting out here and really pushing the gear, pushing our skills to the limit, trying to do it as realistically as possible. I'm going to go ahead and give you control, David, whenever you're ready.
All right, I've got control.
This is where we see the follow-up shot.
All right, Rob, how about you give it a shot?
All right.
Just a balloon that's tied down onto a stick. So the wind is going to maneuver it around. So anytime, what we're looking for here is having to take a snapshot immediately. Let's say it may be that deer, that big buck that comes out and gives you that one opportunity, or it could be on a hostage situation where you've been given the green light. You see him moving around in a specific area. You've got to work your way through. You're prepped to shoot at any point in time. Breathing is critical here. You want to try to stay on the area of where that target has been showing itself. Truly a patient game here.
Well, you've been operational as a sniper on your team, David. How real is this, just sitting and waiting and watching?
Oh, this is real. This is probably as real as it gets right here. And nothing will test your patience more than that balloon or a suspect that, once you've been given a green light, will not move.
Good.
Outstanding. Outstanding. Patience paid off.
It sure did, and luckily this LaRue's dialed in because I only got about an inch to shoot at, and it looks like that was the last round. That was difficult. All right, David, it looks like we're about 150 yards away. Now it's warmed up a little bit. I don't think that's gonna affect much in shedding a layer of clothes. We're on the third landing of the tower. We don't wanna stick our gun out again and be on the windowsill. I know you've got a solution for this. You wanna show me how you're gonna set this up?
You bet. This is what we've got here. Obviously, is a higher landing. We're not going to be able to remain in a prone position to make this 150-yard shot. And we want to remain back away from the windowsill. So what we're going to do is we're just going to take some 1-inch nylon webbing that's been sewn together, and we're going to attempt to find either a rafter or something inside the building. All right, once we get them, try to separate them and get them as far apart as we can, giving us kind of a rest position. It's not going to be as stable as a prone position, once again, but it's going to give us a lot more than trying to make an offhand shot at this kind of a range.
Now these look about perfect, but I guess we could shorten these up if we needed to?
You bet. In fact, a lot of guys, what they'll use is bungee cords, and that gives them a little bit more flexibility. Once again, this is not going to be as stable as a prone position, but it's going to give us a lot better rest than we'd have offhand. So,
all right, I'll get out of your way.
All right, we'll give it a try.
You'll go on that red balloon and save the green one for me?
I will save you the green balloon.
Good hit. Taking a look at the body position you had, if I throw a knot here, I think I might be up a little higher, and it might just be a little bit more comfortable for me. It's almost like cheating to make it too comfortable, I guess.
That's not a short joke, is it?
No. Telling you, this is like sniper playground today. We're just having too much fun. Little different kind of rifle, not quite as smooth and flat. I'm gonna stay in front of the magazine well, and that's one of the things about working with these improvised rests is you really do learn. I would never have thought about the magazine being an issue with this kind of rest. I've used one before, but never with a semi-auto. Target's down.
Nice follow-up.
That is not the most stable in the world, but hell of a lot better than just trying to stand here offhand.
You bet it is.
I think we got one more level of the tower left.
You bet, one more level to go.
Great. Let's head up. SWAT Magazine delivers great information straight to your doorstep every month. Head over to SWATmag.com and subscribe today. Let's take a break from the shooting action and see what Kyle Lamb has to say about his favorite choice when it comes to a magnified optic on top of an AR.
On top of this rifle, I have a new scope that's available from Leupold. It's the CQB-SS. It's a 1-to-8 variable powered scope. There's a lot of really cool features about this scope, and I really recommend you checking it out. Some of the features that we helped Leupold design into this particular scope, first of all, it's a front focal plane scope, which means that the reticle will stay the same size throughout your zoom range. The rear of the scope has been knurled, so you can simply grab the whole rear of the scope and twist it up to 8 power and you'll be good to go. We also have locking turrets on this scope. Simply squeezing the turret will allow it to unlock. On the left-hand side of the scope, I can adjust the illumination for the reticle inside the scope. It's a really great piece of kit. If you're going to be shooting anywhere from 100 yards out to 600 yards with your AR platform, this is definitely the scope for you.
My total background in law enforcement, I left the military after 8 years of service in the United States Army and came on board with the Hays County Sheriff's Office. I'm kind of a jack of all trade, master of none. I've worked everything from corrections in the jail to patrol. I worked narcotics, grew my hair long, got some earrings, didn't bathe for a couple weeks. Been a part of the SWAT team now for going on 14 years. Worked everything from point man on entry to team leader, to sniper team leader, and now I'm currently the commander of the SWAT team. There they are, right there.
Well, that looks a little further away than we've been shooting.
Some of the training that we have gone through, or that we have put our team through, and a lot of communication drills between the sniper and the observer, a lot of simultaneous shots between two of the snipers, and a lot of reactionary targets, high angle targets, everything. We try to do nothing more than get our cold bore shot from a bench rest or in the prone, and everything else from then on is you're in some type of improvised position when you're firing that weapon. Just like any other, mid-sized agency, we work a multi-jurisdictional team. We have 21 members. 5 of those members are snipers. We deploy our snipers always in sniper observer teams. Snipers mainly are an intelligence gathering resource, just as our counterparts in the military. Here in law enforcement as well, they're the eyes of the commander who's having to make the decisions on what the team is going to do. Well, we've got good shots. However, take a look at this. There's 2 holes in both targets. I know we only shot one time. I teach because I've been blessed to have learned from people who are much more experienced, much better than me, and any little tidbits of information that I can pass forth to my students. That's why I teach. Somebody taught me. I'm just trying to pay back. To work here at the ALERRT Center means a lot to me, because the very first time that I ever walked and set foot on this facility, it was a cornfield. And so I've watched the progression of this training, and I've watched the progression of the training as it's been implemented across the United States. And there's probably nothing better than probably once every 2 to 3 months we get a call from one of our former students who say, hey, what you showed us worked. What you showed us saved lives. And that's got to be it. And just seeing that on a regular basis. Reality is you may be eating lunch, and 5 seconds later you're on a call and having to make a shot to save someone's life. Every day that I get to go out there and pass on any little bit of knowledge that at one time was passed on to me. And when I do that and I see the light bulb come on in the student's head, for whatever skill set we're working on, that's the highlight. And every time I do it, it's the new highlight of my teaching career.
For many years, I've been a big advocate of the belly band as a great holster for a small or mid-sized firearm that you're going to carry inside the waistband. And of course, I've become a big fan of appendix carry as well in the last few years. Now, I've partnered up with Crossbreed Holsters to make presentation from a belly band in the appendix position or anywhere inside the waistband faster, more efficient, and of course, better for self-defense use of a firearm. We've done this by taking the traditional belly band and simply covering it with hook and loop fastener that allows us to attach one of the Crossbreed Ojai holsters. And this gives us the presentation convenience of coming out of Kydex instead of coming out of the leather or fabric pouches that normally hold a small firearm inside of a belly band. This is a huge advantage when you need your firearm for personal defense and you want it to present smoothly and consistently every time. And in the training environment, it also makes it a lot easier to reholster consistently and safely while you're on the line with other people. And again, this is regardless of whether you're carrying in the appendix position or at the 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, or even 5 o'clock position. Some people will even take the belly band, use the Ojai holster, and go into a cross draw position because you can angle with the hook and loop fastener the holster in any direction. And of course, Crossbreed has a complete selection of Ojai holsters to fit any defensive firearm. The nice thing about this system also is that I can now take my defensive firearm, load it, chamber around, and never need to unholster it until I actually need to unholster it. So I can take this firearm and put it on the bedside backup, again from Crossbreed holsters. I can take the hook and loop fastener, this industrial strength adhesive, and put it virtually anywhere. I can put it under a desk, I can put it under the dash of my vehicle. I can put this anywhere that I want to secure a firearm, including inside of a purse, inside of a backpack, or inside of a briefcase. So now, for off-body carry or for on-body carry, I can take the Ojai holster, attach it to my belly band, put it on underneath something as simple as an untucked polo shirt or t-shirt, maybe a jacket or any kind of pullover. I'm very proud to be working with Crossbreed holsters on this project. I think this is going to be a huge advantage for people that carry inside the waistband and are looking for a convenient, efficient concealment solution.
Being an armed citizen means having a gun with you all the time. Carrying a firearm every day requires a holster that is both concealable and comfortable. Whether you choose our Super Tuck Deluxe or Mini Tuck, you'll have the confidence that comes from being discreetly and comfortably armed, prepared to face unforeseen dangers. Crossbreed holsters are handmade in the USA, come with a lifetime warranty and a 2-week try-it-free guarantee. Order your holster today at crossbreedholsters.com.
Welcome to Personal Defense Network. For years, we've been the internet's leading destination for high-quality information on equipment, training, and your preparation for personal or home defense. Our videos are meant for those who are serious about enhancing their ability to use efficient techniques to survive a dynamic critical incident. But now we've stepped things up even higher. We've added hours of high-quality training videos just for our premium members. This content takes the body of work that is the Personal Defense Network up to an even higher level. We've got the same types of experts that you're used to seeing, the people who know not only what to teach, but also how to teach, and most specifically, how to convey that information to you efficiently with premium online content. This is simply the best stuff you can find on the web. So how do you get started as a premium member? Simple. First, choose the plan that suits you. You can either pay monthly or sign up for a whole year in advance. Then, you're going to find categories of videos that are meant exclusively for you to help enhance your preparation for personal defense. Let's go inside and take a look. On the categories page, you'll find that all of our topics are organized in a way that makes sense so that you can easily find the information you're looking for. Once you go to a specific category, you'll see our normal short-length video tips. You'll also see step-by-step drills with written instructions, as well as full-length courses that are designed to help you learn as efficiently as you can with the time you've got. And of course, as you've come to expect from the Personal Defense Network, we're always adding new information. We're constantly out taping and collecting video with experts from around the world that you can find inside of your premium membership. And the best thing, you'll be able to take this membership with you with a smartphone, mobile device, or simply log in at whatever computer you happen to be by. Our goal at the Personal Defense Network is simple: provide you with the highest quality video learning tips that are available. You'll find them inside of the premium membership. All you have to do is choose how to get started, monthly or annually, and I'll see you on the inside. Handheld or weapon mounted? Where should your light be for home defense? Let's see what the experts have to say.
I think weapon-mounted lights for home defense are a good option, especially whenever you have little ones in the house. You may have to take under your underarm or and get them out of harm's way. You don't have to put down a light source. You can have a weapon-mounted light source readily available to continue to scan for any threats.
I believe you should have a weapon-mounted light. I think you should also have a backup light system that's a handheld system to go along with the weapon-mounted light. But if you truly need to engage a threat, you need to have a weapon-mounted light. If you're on the phone talking to somebody, how are you going to hold a light and talk on the phone and cover your sector? So weapon-mounted, I think, is the way to go.
I think that many times they're overused. I can walk through my house in pitch dark. Turn them on when you need them.
Always having a light with a weapon is a good idea. You got to train to that, though. I would not encourage folks that have never shot with a light on a pistol or a rifle or a shotgun, for that matter, to do it the first time they need to save their lives. If you're going to have something like that, you definitely need to have trained with it. But if you're not doing the time or the place to train, then I wouldn't have it.
Illumination of the target is vitally important. You've got to know what you're shooting, why you're shooting. And it does align the light and the weapon, but it's another component that, if not properly rehearsed or trained, could be more complicating.
My personal preference is a weapon-mounted light. However, it's important to train for both. And why I choose a weapon-mounted is by using a handheld, you lose a hand. You lose a hand from control of the firearm. However, our training that we do, we teach them both. And it's important to realize that when you take a hand off that firearm, your accuracy is affected, and we need to train that way. But again, for me, it's weapon mounted.
The problem with weapons mounted lights are that people tend to go train during the day and then not utilize them. The big pro to a weapon mounted light, especially if we're talking a long gun, and I'm a big fan of a long gun being your home defense weapon. The whole reason for a pistol is to have to fight your way back to the rifle or shotgun you should have had in your hands in the first place. Weapons mounted light for a long gun is absolutely essential because you can't hold a flashlight in your hand and run that long gun at the same time. You can, takes a lot of training. A lot easier to train with that thing on that weapon, but the key to it is train with it on the weapon. Even during the daytime, you can, train to activate that light.
Okay, we're on top of the tower now, so we've got a little bit of an extreme angle that we're also shooting. We're gonna couple this up, so now we're gonna also shoot through some glass. Rob, I'm sure that you've shot through glass before, right?
Shot through glass, but never at this angle. I mean, we're only probably 20 or 30 degrees off the pane of the glass.
Exactly, and most of the time whenever we do shoot through glass or when we're training to shoot through glass, we like to get a 90-degree angle. However, like we've been doing all day, that isn't always reality. So what we're gonna work on today is just having those extreme angles and shooting through that glass, see what the bullet does.
All right, I'll get down into the prone. Again, staying back from the lip, we wouldn't want to reveal our position any more than we needed to.
Exactly.
And we're gonna be able to take a look and see where this bullet goes. I'm gonna cheat a little bit to the right, expecting that bullet to be pulled to the left.
Yes, exactly.
Good hit.
Good hit.
All right, well, there's another target on the bottom pane set up for you. Why don't you try it off the edge of the building over at the top if we had a more expedient opportunity we needed to take?
Sure, you bet. Let's give it a try. Okay, now on this one, Rob, what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and I'm gonna actually act like I've just got a snapshot that I've gotta make extremely quickly, so I'm not gonna worry about putting my barrel outside the wall or anything like that. So we'll come up and try to make that snapshot as quickly as we can. Okay, target's down. Hey Rob, how about we take it downstairs and let's go take a look and see what that bullet did going through that glass.
Yeah, I'm really interested to see where those impacts are.
Awesome.
Really anxious to see what the glass did. We can see the ovals. We know it's not that clean hole we get punching straight through.
Yeah, exactly. Well, we've got good shots. However, take a look at this. There's 2 holes in both targets. I know we only shot one time each, so.
Jacket separation?
Yeah, that would be my best, that would be my first guess anyway.
It's interesting, I was holding on the right eye on the top target, obviously expecting the bullet to get pulled left, and sure enough, there's a hole in the left eye, and then that may be the jacket hole down there in the chin, and you've got the same thing.
Very true, almost exactly identical.
Where was your point of hold on that?
Just above that right eye.
Okay, so sure enough, pulled over to the left eye, same thing, but then there's that other hole down there in the ear. It's got to be jacket.
Got to be.
The other thing interesting is the balloon did pop. I wanted to see what that spall would do with the glass, and sure enough, that other hostage would have taken some glass in the face, but that's a lot better than an AK round, I guess.
Exactly.
Let's get a closer look.
All right, let's take a look.
Well, whatever it is, it wasn't completely bullet-shaped when it went through, that's for sure. Yeah. Whether it was the jacket or not.
Either.
I mean, that's really torn up. And this is super thin, normal household glass. I mean, there's nothing special here.
No,
this is not it's not a laminate, it's not safety glass, it's not anything else, but that's an extreme angle. I've never shot through glass at that angle before. I'm really surprised to see how much damage it really did to these bullets. I mean, it's got them tumbling and spinning and everything else. I mean, clearly we still took out the target, but those look like bullet holes, and there's 2 each.
Yeah, they really do. It doesn't appear to be just a jacket that is ripped apart. So, and like you said, that's why we train, because it's very hard for you to ever have 100% accuracy on what that bullet's going to do when it's coming through any pane of glass at any angle, and this angle, obviously, we've learned something here today.
Well, we're inside a vehicle.
Yeah, a lot of times you don't always get to have a building or your choice of building whenever you're out on an operation. A lot of times in order for especially sniper teams to be able to blend into the environment, this is what we have to work from, some type of a vehicle.
And we even got the hatch pulled down a little bit. Now, obviously, that could even maybe be a little bit lower depending on the angle, depending on how we're able to park the truck, and that just makes it less likely maybe somebody in the buildings could see us inside of here.
That's exactly right.
Okay, so we're about 200 yards or so from the target, maybe a little bit less than that. What exactly are we going to do?
We're going to attempt to make a simultaneous shot. That can be from any reason, barricade penetration if we are having to shoot through glass. We saw what the bullets did going through the glass earlier. So in order to make sure we're making the shots and they're on target, we're going to have those. Neither one of those bullets will get there at exactly the same time.
Sure. So now there isn't any glass in this particular case, but we're simulating if we wanted to break the glass and go through, or maybe we just want to make sure that this guy goes down. We're going to put 2 guns on him.
Exactly.
Okay, great. And we're going to initiate it on a random start. We're going to try to get that shot off as soon as we can, as close to simultaneous as possible.
Sounds good.
All right. Let me know when you're into position. Now, what type of target is this inside that shoot house?
It's a knockdown target. It's not automatic, so we're going to have to hit the central nervous system in order to put that target down.
Okay, and on this kind of shot, you're the sergeant. I'm going to take your lead. Are we going body or head?
200 yards, no need for a hostage. Let's work the body.
All right, sounds good. So right up the center of the spine. Of course, he's bladed off a little bit, so I'm going to probably cheat it a little bit to the right. And I'm in position. I'll hit that timer whenever you tell me you're in position, Sarge.
All right, in position.
Well, we're going to have to go down there and check that target. I'll tell you this, we were 0.28 and our shots were 0.01 off.
Wow.
Can't get much more in sync than that, man.
No, that's pretty much in sync there.
All right, cool. Well, we were about a little less than 1/3 of a second from the timer to the shot. Both shots went off within 1/100th of a second. Let's go see what we did.
Let's go check it out.
Well, we got the body shots.
Yeah, we got the body shots. Not the greatest shots for 200 yards, but that will most definitely suffice. The bigger issue is us being able to make those simultaneous shots and get them within those time frames that we had talked about. So.
Yeah, and you know, obviously, we haven't spent a lot of time training together. I don't think we've shot 10 shots in front of each other, but just being out here today and the fact that I know you've trained to a timer before, I've trained to a timer before, at the end of the day, it's really just about how quickly you can react to that go signal.
That's exactly right. Okay, Rob, I know you've shot these targets before, but for the viewers that haven't, what we're going to do is let's go ahead and we'll do I'll initiate the shot, you'll make the shot follow up after me, and vice versa as we work our way around. We'll start on the upper right hand target, and then we'll work our way left, right. So you'll be the initiator on all the left targets, I'll be the initiator on all the right targets.
Sounds good.
Awesome.
Now, of course, we're breaking a couple of rules here. I just switched to this 155 grain AMAX type bullet from the 168 grain I was using. We know that might have an effect on the exact point of impact. And man, I hate going hard on hard. And that's definitely what we're doing with these rests. I may even cheat my hand in there a little. I am in position. On my command for the second shot. On your command for the third shot. Well, I'll tell you what, I think that ammunition switch is definitely affecting. I have consistently gone off to the right significantly on every shot. I'm gonna have to adjust my hold moving down there. That switch from 168 grain to 155 grain is consistently off to the right.
Yes, it has.
On my initiation with a hold off. Ready?
Ready.
On you, I am in position.
All right, that was difficult.
Well, chasing that 155, I thought I had thrown it the first couple times, and when I realized that it was consistent, I got to assume that's some ammo issue.
I agree.
What do you usually see when you switch like that? I mean, people think about it, well, it's 13 grains, what's the big deal? What do you see?
It varies, weapon systems, weapon types, it just varies, it really does.
All right, well, beautiful day of shooting. Let's go down there and take a look at those targets.
Take a look.
Well, as we say, this is why we train.
Exactly. Difficult shots, you know, to make for any sniper, you know, and it's a good day of training that we end on a very humbling note, without a doubt.
Well, the reality is we're 100-ish yards in a wind, improvised rest, both of us stooped down, you know, change of ammo, different equipment, angles we've never shot at before. This is exactly why we do this. Now, you're operational. I get to go to the training range, I work with guys like you, or I'm just out having fun, and today was a great day of shooting, and of course it reminds me that I still have things to work on when I do get the chance to get a precision rifle in my hands. But you're operational. What are the lessons you take away from this experience here, especially on this last set of shots?
If you don't have the shot, don't take it. And there's prime example all over this board right here as to why. Know your own capabilities, and never think too much of yourself. Continue to train and be humble, and this is definitely a humbling target.
It is. Anytime you go out to the range, you've got to be pushing yourself. You've got to be pushing your limits. You've got to be pushing your equipment, trying new things. And that's really what today was all about. Sergeant Burns, I really appreciate you being willing to come out here and push yourself and test yourself and let everybody see that it's perfectly fine to be operational, to be well-trained, to be certified, and still be willing to push yourself, find ways that you can improve your performance. Really appreciate it, Sergeant. Thanks very much.
You bet. My pleasure.
And thank you for watching SWAT Magazine TV.